in today's scenario, Python will help you in every aspect of learning and implementation. And Python, because it is an open source tool, and the libraries are increasing day by day of Python, and slowly it is becoming very popular language among the software developer, web developers, app developers, or scientists and researchers. So that's why we are look into this aspect, and we try to understand this language first. Okay, let's go to the deep of Python. So what is Python? So Python, we can say that Python is nothing but a high level language. Yes, like your other languages, Python is also a language, and it comes as a high level language. Second thing, it says that Python is the object oriented programming language. So everything in the Python we visualize in the form of objects, and everything related, every variable that will create, every module that will create, we assume that this is an object. So here, whatever data will be stored in the form of any type of data structure we'll use, that is considered as object. So that's why it is written Python is an object oriented programming language. It is a high level language, so definitely we have to interpret it. So it is a interpreter here will use, and this interpreter will convert this high level language to executable code, and this executable code will actually execute in the processor. Then there is a dynamic semantic integrations are there. Means we can integrate the Python with any of the other languages also. That facility is there. We, as I told you, we have a huge libraries related to Python. So if we want to go to the field of uh, research in networking, we can go there. If we want to go to the field of data analysis, we have different libraries for that. If you want to go to the field of web development, we have different libraries for that. If you want to go for software development, we have different libraries for it. So as I told you, we can integrate Python with any semantics or any type of applications. So as it is written, like with the web development and the application development, easily we can perform here in object oriented programming. So web development and this app development, easily we can do. That's why in today's world, this Python is in the number one. So Python is the number one programming language in today's scenario. Okay, let's talk about that. Is Python is a new language? So let me tell you, Python is not a new language. In fact, Python is very old language. So Python has come in the scenario in 1980s, and as you can see in the early 70s, actually computer comes into the existence. So within 10 years, this particular language came for the in the computer, right? So Python is in the existence since 1980s. It is very old language, and it has gained a lot of momentum in the beginning of the 21st century. So see how much time it took to gain the momentum of this particular language. But today, this is the world popular language. So the creator of the Python is this particular guy, Guido van Rossum is the name of this particular fellow who has created Python. Now here is some facts related to Python. Okay, uh, I don't know whether you know or you don't know about it, but these are some facts. So what is the first fact? We all use Firefox browsers, right? In the Firefox browser, 230K lines of code means 230,000 line of code has been written in Python to create this particular browser. So Python has been used is the primary language to create the Firefox browser. Microsoft promotes Python development with its IDE Visual Studio Code. So there is the IDE created by the Microsoft, and Microsoft is promoting actually Python. Netflix, we all know what is Netflix is. So Netflix is a video streaming platform, and this particular Netflix share that they make extensive use of Python in data science. Means the recommendations of the movie, which plan you have to take based on the watcher's uh, interest. It will recommend the web series or the movies, right? So the main language used in the Netflix related to analyze the data is Python. We know about Uber, right? So Uber says it uses a Jupyter Notebook and IPython to share the data of real-time data of the driver, the path, all these things are integrated related to Python, and they use Jupyter Notebook to implement it, and you use IPython for that. Okay, so these are some of the facts related to Python. There are many others, but these are some highlighted facts related to Python, so that you can know the depth of the Python. Okay. Why learn Python? So the questions come to most of yours mind, that why the course Python is there in this particular semester. Because you are in the beginning of your engineering, so it is better to go and pick one language, right? Because it doesn't matter in which field you go, any of the language usage is very much useful for your upcoming careers, whether you'll go to the higher study or you'll go to the company, or you will go become an entrepreneur. So you should have sufficient knowledge, some proficiency in any of the uh, language. So I suggest that you should pick any of the language based on your interest. Let's see what are the different properties of Python which makes us to learn Python. So the first property we'll see here is simplicity and reliability. Now, what do you mean by simplicity? Let's say if we want to write a code in Java. So this is a code in Java. You can see here. This code will print hello world in the screen. So when we write this code, so we have to write the code in Java in this way: class hello world, public static void main string array system.out.println. Right? So this but and the hello world, this three line of code with different parentheses will print hello world in Java. If you want to print hello world in Python, we have to write this. That's all. So this is a one line code for writing. So see how simple it is to write, how simple it is to read. I want to print, so I'll write print. And what to print? Hello world, right? So here the simplicity and the readability is there in the Python. Python is the language which we can understand, and it is very much similar to like English language that we used to that we use for the communication, or that you use for writing purposes. So it is just like a similar English type, English type, very understandable code syntax that we'll use here. So here you can see that there is a very simple uh, program, very simple line of code that can replace these 3 lines of code in Java. Okay, so simplicity and readability is one property of this Python. What is the second property of Python? The second property of Python is convenience. Convenience means it is platform independent. It is not at all dependent on any other platform. So in any of the operating system, if you are using any Windows operating system, you are using any Linux operating system, or even you are using the Mac operating system, to installation and usage of this Python is very easy. We doesn't have to do much work. Like we doesn't have to bother about library settings, path settings and all. It is very easy to use. So that's why it depend upon your favorite operating system. You can use a Python anywhere. So the second property is convenience. The third property related to Python, which is very much useful and very much interesting, is cross-language operation. Cross-language dynamics are there, means the Python could be integrated with any of the language. Means we can develop a software, or we can develop any applications by combining Python with C++, or Python with C, or Python with Java, or Python. We can even develop the web pages, Python with JavaScript web applications, Python with Rust, or Python with .NET. So any of the technology can be integrated, can be very easily integrated in Python. That's why the integration with other languages are very much convenient in Python, and this is very powerful property of Python. The next property of the Python is it has vast applications. Means Python, with the help of Python, we can have different application like web scraping we can do. With that, we can collect the data. We can use some testing tool with the Python. We can develop the testing tool. We can actually develop the web pages or web development applications. We can do data analytics. We can develop any type of software, any type of mobile applications. So you can see the applications of Python is vast, and that's why it is very much popular among the software developers, among the scientists, among the researchers. So these are some of the properties related to Python, and we can say that because of these properties, we are going to learn Python. Now, the next thing what you have to do is, here I have given two links. The first link is to download the Python. Okay. So if you want to install and download the Python, you can use the link, that is python.org/downloads. If you'll go here, if you'll go into that particular website, I'll show you. So you will get a link to download. Depend upon your operating system, it will download the Python. The second thing what you have to do is, and I am telling you, if you do not download the Python, you have to download the Anaconda. Anaconda is a you can say a platform package in which we have the facility of Jupyter Notebook, and your whole course will be I am going to taught with the help of Jupyter Notebook. Okay, and here we have Python, here we have R, here we have Jupyter Notebook, and many other libraries are there with the Anaconda free version, that is product slash individual. So when we'll go to the individual, so we can see how it works. So let's see one by one these two. My recommendation is you should install Anaconda in spite of what operating system you are using, because I am using Jupyter Notebook for my course. So from today or from now onwards, I am moving my course lecture to Jupyter Notebook. So I'll open the Jupyter Notebook and I'll show you that how we can run the program and what is the theory behind any concept. All these things we'll learn through the Jupyter program, Jupyter Notebook only. So it is compulsory. It is very much compulsory to install Anaconda. If you want to install the Python, you can install it. It is up to you. It is not compulsory. It is an optional. Let's go to both the sites. Let's say this is the first site, which is called python.org .downloads slash downloads. Okay, so this is the site that will open. This is python.org downloads. When we go on that particular link, you will get this. It is saying that download Python 3.8.4. This is the latest version of Python. So this particular here you have the options with your operating system. Either you can go for Windows or Linux based operating system or Mac OS based operating system. It depends upon you. Once you are in the download window, so you should enable the path for Python that you should enable. So there is one window that will open while installing the Python that include the path. So that you have to click. You make sure that that will be done. Next, let's go to the Anaconda. Okay, let's go to the Anaconda, and in the Anaconda, you will learn that how we can do it. Now here you can see here I have open anaconda.com product slash individual. This particular products are there. This is individual, means it is an open source, team editor, enterprise edition, and professional services. All three are paid versions of Anaconda. The first one is the free version of Anaconda that the student, researchers, faculty, all those can use. So here you have to go. Either if you'll come to the anaconda.com, go to the product and go to the first one. This is your individual editions. In the individual editions, you will find here a download symbol. Here you can download it. It is very easy to use. Just download it. It is just an application. You just open the application. Once you open the application, you will find many libraries. Let me show you like this. So this is how you'll find it. This is the Anaconda Navigator. Once you open it, you will find Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Notebook, Spider. There are many other libraries like Orange and R Studio, VC, Visual Studio. All those IDE and libraries you'll find out. Our main focus on Jupyter Notebook. You just launch the Jupyter Notebook, and once you launch it, it will be launched in your browser, default browsers. Okay, so this is how you can install this Anaconda. Once you launch it, it will be here. So let me show you. It will be here. It will come like this. So this particular files and all, you can find it out in the link that I have given. So today I have given you the link related to the course. So my request to all of you is to go to the link. I'll show you where I have given you. So once you go to the classroom, I have shared new material. Okay, just click on the material. You will find out a link here and the PDFs. This PDF is for today's PPT that I have just shown you. There are some 10, 12 slides in this PPT, and there is a link. This link is a Google Drive link in which you can download the folder which called Python course. So Python course is a folder which you can download from this particular link, which I have provided you. You can go to the classroom and find it, download it. In that, in that, what you will find out, I'll show you the folder. So So here we have Python, and in the Python we have course, this Python course. So once you have this Python course, so it will look like this. Once you have the Python course, all these folders you will find it out. In the first folder, you have one. It is written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that way. So first one is Python object and data types. Then we have Python comparison operation. Then Python statement, method and function, and object-oriented programming. So in the first folder, you will find out many files. All these are Python notebook files. The extension is IPYNB. This is IPython notebook. This is the extension that you will find it out. So the first file you have to open, that is 01 hyphen number dot IPYNB. Okay, that you have to open. So once you open this, you will find it out here. This. So this screen is what? This number. This is the file that you will open. That is a 01 numbers dot IPY and NB. That is IPython notebook. Okay. This is nothing but the Jupyter notebook screen. Okay. This is nothing but the Jupyter notebook screen. Here we have a file. From here also we can open it, or you can create a new book if you want. Here we have edit option, view option, insert option, cell option, kernel option, wedges option, and help option. We doesn't have to do much here. Here we have to look on to one or two buttons. Run button to run any command. And there is a stop it. If you want to reset the kernel, you can do that. You want to add some more area to write the code, you can do that and save it. Okay, so all these buttons will be useful for you. So my request is to all of you to download the Anaconda and download this particular folder called Python codes. And in the Python codes, in the first folder, you will find out this first file called number that you should open from the next class onwards. So because in the Jupyter notebook, we can write as well as we can execute the code. So these are the area where we can execute the code with this particular run button. Okay, with the run button, we can actually execute the code. And these are the area where we can write something. So I don't have to go for the PPT to tell you anything, or I don't have to go to other whiteboard tools or other tools to show you anything. I can write everything here, the theory as well as practical we can do at the same place. So that's why this particular is very much popular. Next, if you want to run your Python program, so once you install the Python, the first link that I told you, you can do that and you can go to the terminal or the command prompt is depend upon your operating system, which operating system you are using. So if you are in the shell or the command prompt, so you can go there and here you can write the Python program also, and here you can run the Python program also. Now here if you'll open any of the terminal, so here you can write Python. Once you write the Python, it will tell you which version it is. So it is 3.7.3, which is the version that I have installed in 2019 March. Today the version is 3.8.4, which is the latest version. So I request to install the latest version. And here we can write the code. So whatever code we want to write, we can write. Like just now I told you a code called hello world, right? So this you can write it here, right? So yeah, so this is how we can write the code in Python and it will execute. And if you want to add two variables, you can do, let's say A is 2 and B is 3, and you want to add A plus B, that you can do, right? So this is a very simple way of writing and compiling the code. You just have to, you don't have to do anything. Instead, what you have to do is you just have to run the code, right? So this is how we can do that.